considerations, and then you have to persuade the actor to actually tolerate all of this.
Dan, that was really good. Let's do exactly the same as that last one, but this time do not say the line, just think it.
In total, the team spent 6 weeks filming the underwater material, but that was only part of the story.
It was still, a lot of work ahead of us, because all we were doing in the tank was swimming these people around. Of course, there was no mermaids in there was no grindelows. But once we'd shot all this stuff, it was a matter of taking all this footage that had been shot and reimagining all the camera movements that we did, but putting it in the context of being 500 feet underwater, this huge kelp bed that Harry has to swim through, and then the ruins where he has to rescue the different victims.
Daniel was filmed sort of fighting nothing, largely, underwater. We then had to choreograph through all the shots, scores of grindelows attacking him, wrapping their tentacles around him, try and make it look as though he was actually being pulled rather than he was just sort of feigning being pulled, and get some interaction on his skin and shadows and hair movement, and we even at one point just made his glasses wobble around so that it felt as though he was being attacked. And we had a huge number of creatures. I mean, even a few years ago, just creating one creature like this in a shot was hard work and was pushing the boundaries of what computers could do. And in some of these shots, we have hundreds of creatures, and to try and wrangle those in a scene and make them all work together to make the drama of the shot has been quite hard work, but we're very pleased with the results. Most of the shots we work on, he was shot in the blue screen tank, but there's a few shots where the performance was impossible for a human being to do, or sometimes where it was impossible to get the camera to do what the camera needed to do. And in those shots we've created a computer-generated Daniel, or computer-generated other characters to put into the shots.
For example, I think this shot here.
This shot here, where he leaps out of the water, this sequence here, obviously that's physically impossible, short of firing him out of a cannon.
At 500 feet, water is pretty murky, so muddying up the clarity of every single shot was something else the team had to do.
Making these sort of shots successful is all in the detail. It's getting the play of the light that you get, where it's not sort of a static light like it is above water. There's all the ripples and the caustics. There's the grunk floating around in the water. There's the diffusion of light as things get further away, everything gets foggier. We have to add all of this, and we even go to the trouble of adding the imperfections that you get with underwater cameras. Underwater cameras aren't as clear as above water cameras, so we've analysed what happens with underwater cameras, and we add those to some of our images.
But he's my friend Frodo.
Only one.
It's been done before. I mean, in the sense that people have shot underwater, obviously, and they've even done blue screen. But I don't think to the extent that we did it on here. I mean, we've created this whole 8-minute sequence that there's not one shot in there that wasn't blue screen, and that we had to recreate the whole environment. Every shot in that sequence is realized through computer animation, both not just the underwater, in fact, but the above water too, where we created these elaborate Victorian dive stands from Stuart's designs, and we put them up in this loch in Scotland, and we never went up to Scotland once with the cast and crew for any of the footage that you see in the movies.
Visual effects on this scene alone took a total of 18 months to complete. But before we pull the plug on it, Daniel has something up his sleeve for me.
I think you should have a go. I think everyone will be very, very impressed. I think you'll be letting people down.
I spent my life letting people down. I'm not about to change the habit of a lifetime, Daniel. We'll leave
Go on, have a go.
No, we'll leave that just for the time being. I'll look into it.
But Daniel wasn't taking no for an answer. He'd arranged for his friends on the stunt team to take me down into the actual tank where the scene was filmed. And they took me through some of the basic techniques that the cast had mastered. I was only in the water for half an hour, and not only were my eyes sore after that short time, but I was genuinely shattered, and I wasn't even acting in a movie. It was a fantastic experience, which gave me an insight into the awesome achievement of everyone involved. After the break, find out how an ordinary school day turned into superstardom for one lucky teenager, and Harry comes face to face with his evil enemy, Voldemort. See you then.
Okay, Sam, yeah, thank you.
Beneath a small town exterior, there's always someone up to no good.